All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael Jernigan, and this is the Main Event Wrestling Podcast, a part of the Press Play Podcast Network. I am joined by my tag team partner, as always, the co-host of the show, the JV player of the show, kind of just to fill in, just kind of hanging around the back corner of the show. I'm awful harsh today, man. I apologize.
That's all right. Hey, look.
Mr. J.M. Patterson, the icon.
I totally understand your fear of what is sitting across the table. I get it. I am what everybody tunes in to listen to. It's hard to take sometimes. I am the Ric Flair.
Shit.
The Sizzler.
The Sizzler.
The Golden Corral of this show. The Icon.
You may need to change your name, your nickname from the Icon to the Sizzler.
I like the Sizzler.
The Sizzler.
We going to Sizzler. If y'all don't know what that's from, White Man Can't Jump. Check it out. One of the best basketball movies ever made. Ever. I said it. Your mama's an astronaut.
Speaking of basketball season just kicked off. We're here in North Carolina. Basketball is kind of a big deal here. We're in ACC country. Duke had their first game. I know you're a fan on Tuesday night. The Heels, which is my team, had their first game last night. Both got wins. I think the Heels looked a little bit better, though.
I'm not sure. I didn't watch either game.
I didn't either.
To be honest with you,
I did watch some of the Duke Kansas game. I watched a few minutes, but not much.
Somebody said, "Man, you would really like this Duke team. They play defense. I said, well, if they can't shoot, they got to play defense."
Well, I know Kansas had 25 turnovers and they only won by 2.
So, they're not that good.
Yeah, the defense I guess may be okay, but with the offense. So. But we're not here to talk about basketball. We're here to talk about the great sport of professional wrestling. And it was a good wrestling week.
Man, it was phenomenal.
Week. I think last week was a little down with the wrestling, TV wrestling. This week, however, it was a good week, and I think there's a couple of reasons why. Mainly because we saw more NXT talent this week on WWE TV than what we have seen in weeks, what we have seen ever, to be honest, what we have seen ever. And we have the Saudi Arabians to thank for that.
Well, here's what I think. NXT was great being on the shows. But here's what I think really happened. You had a wrestling show. We've talked about it. Vince McMahon is more entertainment. But you had a wrestling show that started building storylines going into Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. With NXT now being a part of Survivor Series with Raw and Smackdown. You saw some storylines being built. And Saudi Arabia, we appreciate you messing everything up, holding them hostage or whatever you done.
That's right.
Can you do it 51 more weeks of the year? That's all I want to know.
The official response was it was technical difficulties with the plane. So who knows?
Malfunction. Yeah, when you're handcuffed to a prison wall, that's probably a good malfunction.
Lord, I hope the Saudis ain't listening to this.
Look, 214 Foster Street, Nashville.
Gosh.
Bring you and your machetes and come on. We ain't scared of y'all.
Oh, the Saudis are going to come hunt you down.
We ain't scared of y'all. Bring a check, too. I want some of that Vince McMahon blood money y'all giving away.
We'll take that tithe check.
Absolutely.
All right. So a lot of the talent that went over for Crown Jewel were stuck in Saudi Arabia on Friday. Of course, we had SmackDown on Friday night.
Yeah.
So they supplemented with the NXT boys and girls for the guys and girls that were still stuck in Saudi Arabia, which it worked out good because we're building towards Survivor Series.
Yeah.
You have Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT for the first time ever this year at Survivor Series, and so it worked out good to introduce these characters, to introduce these guys, and make NXT look strong compared to SmackDown.
Oh, made it look. I mean, the NXT swept SmackDown every match.
Yep.
But notice, when did they do it?
What do you mean when they do it?
When did they do it on SmackDown?
The whole show.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, basically come out the first match.
They did it after Brock Lesnar quit because they all feared the Beast.
Yes, Brock come out, open the show. He quit SmackDown.
Don't blame him.
Reason being because he wants to go to Raw and go hunting. Who's he hunting for? All 5'5", 190-pound Rey Mysterio Jr. Now, keep in mind, Paul Heyman said during this promo, he said that Brock can't do anything to Ray because Ray's a SmackDown guy, or Ray's a Raw guy.
Right.
Brock's a SmackDown guy. One day before this, they just had the main event at Crown Jewel with a SmackDown guy and a Raw guy. So whatever it takes to get one belt on each show, I don't care anymore.
And that's what it came down to.
Yeah.
They got to put a belt on Raw. But Brock Lesnar shouldn't chase anybody. Now, I would, if it was me, I'm quitting because the talent on SmackDown ain't good enough to be chasing my belt. I'm going to Raw. I'm using an angle like that. But to chase the 5'3" Muggsy Bogues,
Ray,
professional wrestling, who's been thrown around more than any professional wrestler alive.
Probably. Well, what was my man's name that was with the Dudley Boys back in the day?
Spike.
Yeah, he took a beating.
Yeah, Spike Dudley.
He would take a beating.
That's not Jungle Boy. What's the other boy's name?
Marco Stunt.
Yeah, that's the Marco Stunt of 2019 right here. But I get it. I get it. But, I mean, you look at Raw, after Ray, who do you really feud with? Lord, don't tell me it's another Seth Rollins feud.
Yes.
Golly,
yes.
I can't handle that.
It'll come back around. Come Royal Rumble time, comes WrestleMania time after the first of the year. It'll probably be back around with Seth Rollins.
I mean, there's nobody else there to go after.
So we had Brock quit, and then he showed up on Monday Night Raw and laid a beating on Dio Madden. We'll get to that in a minute. Dio took a good little beating, though.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
From what I saw, you know why Dio took that?
Because he's the trained wrestler that's not over 60 years old at the desk.
Well, that too. And they do not like the commentating team.
Okay.
They think they're a little weak. And so you may not see Dio come back anymore.
Well,
that may be the shot that takes him off the camera.
That's okay. That's all right. So after Brock quit, we had Bayley and Nikki Cross. Bayley won, but the big part of this match was Shayna Baszler come out of the crowd after the match, had a stare down, had a beat down on Bayley. On this SmackDown show, you saw Shayna Baszler, my main man, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa, Rhea Ripley, Tegan Knox, and Adam Cole all on this show.
Baby!
I loved the interaction with Daniel Bryan and Triple H and HBK. Triple H said something to Daniel Bryan about, you heard somebody's looking for a fight.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan said, well, I'm looking for a fight.
Yeah.
And so Triple H said, well, you're not going to fight me. Did you see Shawn Michaels
Shawn
in the background?
started taking his jacket off.
Yes. The crowd started making a little noise.
Yeah.
People actually thought, myself halfway included, not completely, but halfway included, thought, man, maybe Shawn's going to have a match on SmackDown.
That's what it looked like.
And then Shawn put his jacket back on and said, it's too
whoa,
cold.
It's hot out here. Whoa. So that was good. I'll give him total credit.
And then out come Adam Cole, and you had Adam Cole beat Daniel Bryan on national TV. Since WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan has put over Kofi, Buddy Murphy, and now Adam Cole. Daniel Bryan is what is good about professional wrestling.
I don't know about that.
You're crazy.
I don't know about that.
He is over. If he loses this match, it's no big deal. He is over. The crowd's going to cheer or boo him. He is over as he could be. If he loses like this to put over Kofi at WrestleMania, Buddy Murphy leading into that whole tried to kill Roman Reigns thing, and now Adam Cole with NXT versus SmackDown, it's good for professional wrestling.
If you are in Daniel Bryan's shoes,
yep,
one of the hottest guys in the industry right now, one of the best heels in the business.
Yep.
Being honest with me now.
Okay.
Would you have put over Kofi?
Yes. Kofi was the hottest thing other than Becky Lynch going into WrestleMania.
I'm not doing it.
You have to.
You put over Buddy Murphy.
Yes, it's an up and coming. Listen, this is why I'm saying that Daniel Bryan is, to take a line from Triple H from about 5 years ago, this is why Daniel Bryan is what's best for business. He always does the right thing.
See, he's reminding me of a 58-year-old Ric Flair.
No.
Yeah, because when Flair got old, he put everybody over.
No.
And here's the same thing with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan deserves a belt, for one.
He just had one.
Except for the hemp belt that he had.
He just had one a couple months ago.
He deserves something. The guy is other than Baron Corbin, and that's probably it.
Okay.
He's your best heel on TV. Really. Other than, I mean, nobody likes Brock, not because he's a heel.
Seth Rollins is getting there.
Because he's a part-timer, right?
Yeah.
And well, he's becoming more of a full-time guy now since he's getting paid
It ain't happening.
millions. But he's around more than he was.
Right.
But other than that, and Seth Rollins is a heel because he's just an idiot on social media.
People don't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you think when Samoa Joe comes back, there's your good heel.
Yep.
Broke arm. When Elias comes back, broke ankle, there's you another heel. The Miz is a great heel, but they got him as a babyface right now.
Right.
But other than Daniel Bryan and Corbin, who you got?
That's still no reason why Daniel Bryan shouldn't be putting these guys over. You got to have somebody else good to fight against.
Oh, look. Have Big E put somebody over.
What you think is going to mean more for Adam Cole to beat Big E or to beat Daniel Bryan?
First off, I
Bryan.
love Adam Cole. Adam Cole shouldn't have beat Daniel Bryan clean.
That's ridiculous.
He shouldn't have.
Of course, they had to make NXT look strong.
They made him look strong the whole night. They could have just gave the boy a beat down.
No.
The same with the end of Raw when he's fighting Seth, right? You don't put your boy over. You don't put him over Seth. Why not?
They should have. I agree.
You had to have a beat down.
I agree. They should have.
And that's where Daniel Bryan is being disrespected.
And that's where he did the right thing for business.
No, he's being disrespected.
Where he put the newer guy over to make Survivor Series all that much better.
See, here's what, I said this a while back. I mean, it's been years ago when Hogan was at the end of his career.
Yep.
And Hogan wouldn't let anybody, go over. He's not going to lose a match. And I always said back then, I think it was Brock Lesnar, I think it was some of those guys, I said, I really wish they would hurt Hogan, like in real life, just because you're being a jerk.
Well, listen, Hogan protected his character, no question.
Oh, he still
no
does.
Question. Oh,
still does.
No question.
Stone Cold would probably be the same, but Stone Cold was the baddest SOB to walk the planet.
Well, Hulk Hogan was the biggest star to walk the planet.
I'm going Stone Cold.
They're neck and neck.
Stone Cold. Stone Cold saved that business by himself.
Hulk Hogan built it. But anyway.
Rocky built it.
So,
Thunder Lips.
Speaking of Monday Night Raw, the Seth Rollins come out, did a promo. I hate when wrestlers lose a belt, in this case on Thursday, come out on Monday, and they talk about it for 2 sentences, and then they move on to something else.
Right.
Like John Cena used to do it all the time. I like John Cena. I'm a Cena man, but he used to do it every time. He lost the belt, 16 times now?
Yeah.
Every time he lost it, he come out the following Monday night, and he wouldn't talk about it. He was happy. No, I want to see you lose a belt. I want to see somebody come out pissed.
You mad about it?
Yes, I want to see.
I agree.
But I remember when Brock, who did he lose to? He lost, maybe when he lost to Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31, and he come out Monday night after that, and that's when he F5 Michael Cole into the ring post and just killed everybody and got suspended and was off TV for 5 months. But that's what I want to see.
Oh, absolutely.
I hate when a champion loses his belt and then he comes out the next night and he's like, well, he was a better man. No, forget that.
No.
Let's go whip some tail.
That's like Tommaso, your boy.
Yes.
Didn't lose the belt, had to vacate it, right?
Yep, had neck surgery.
Every week he comes out, he always talks about what?
Goldie.
Yes. He's going to get Goldie back.
Yes.
And so that's what you want with Seth Rollins, right?
Yes.
I mean, if that is the top prize in the company and I just lost it, I want it back.
I agree.
By everything necessary. Do what I can. But I tweeted, have you ever listened to Dave LaGreca on Busted Open Radio?
No. I know what it is, but no, I haven't.
If you will listen to Dave LaGreca imitate Seth Rollins, he has him down to a T. And when I was listening to Seth do his interview, all I could hear was Dave LaGreca on Busted Open making fun of him. Well, it's Seth Rollins, and we're in Utah. And I tell you what, I'm a little upset. And, I mean, he's got him down, which I don't because I'm terrible.
Obviously.
But, I mean, he's got it down to a T. And Seth Rollins is just terrible on the mic.
Yeah.
That's why he can't do it.
Yeah, I agree. He's not terrible, but he's missing something. I don't know what it is. He's missing something.
Let me go and tell you, and we're going to get to it. Last night was the best mic skills I've seen in a long time.
Let's get to it. Last night on AEW Dino, because ain't nothing else to talk about with Raw. Anything else?
No, I mean, just that sorry with, Bobby Lashley, which is ridiculous.
I ain't got time for that.
Ridiculous.
I'm all for seeing Lana at any time, but
yeah.
come on. Last night on AEW Dynamite, you had Cody come out. He finally got a full interview with Tony Schiavone. I think this is episode 5 or 6 or something like that. Finally, we got a full interview with Cody Rhodes, and my God, did he knock it out of the park with his promo leading into Full Gear this Saturday night.
Man, and that's what we talk about with Seth Rollins. I mean, and it's storylines, it's choreographed, it's whatever. But listening to Cody last night, you would think that belt, his career, meant everything this dude is tearing up in his interview.
Yes.
He's SOBing and GDing people. And and I was like, dude, I bought into it.
Yes.
I was like, man, that was one of the best. I mean, even The Rock tweeted him and said that was one of the greatest promos. Drop the mic, you killed the show.
Good for The Rock. Good for him. So Cody had a big announcement. His big announcement was that if he did not beat Chris Jericho, he could never again challenge for the AEW championship.
So when you hear that, your first thought is what? He's winning.
No.
Right? You don't feel that way?
Nope.
Well, why not?
Okay, here's the deal. We'll get to Full Gear predictions here in a little bit. But let me just say this. I didn't think Cody was winning before last night.
Okay.
I don't think Cody's winning now. There is one small thing that could change my mind. And that is on January the 4th, Chris Jericho is going to Wrestle Kingdom for New Japan and wrestling Hiroshi Tanahashi in the Tokyo Dome, whatever it's called over there. By all reports, the AEW and New Japan relationship is not good. I don't know if it's got anything to do with the way the Young Bucks and Kenny left and all that, whatever. I don't know. But it's not good. The only way that I think Cody wins is if the AEW boys, if Tony Khan, Cody, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, all those top-notch boys, if they don't want their champion going to New Japan and wrestling a match thinking that he's going to lose that match and make their championship look bad.
Yeah, and I get that.
If that happens, there's a good chance Cody's going to win. Take that out of the picture just off of his announcement last night that if he did not beat Chris Jericho, notice he didn't say if I don't win the championship.
Yeah.
He said if I don't beat Chris Jericho.
Right.
He can win a disqualification match.
He can.
And I can tell you how it's going to happen.
Tell me. Talk to me.
Your boy.
My boy.
His best friend.
Yes.
MJF. You would say one of the best bad guys wrestling on TV.
Absolutely.
He hadn't been a bad guy for a couple of weeks.
He hasn't.
There is a chance, I believe, Saturday night, he turns in to, one of the best bad guys on TV. Because Cody made this announcement, because Cody said, if I don't win, I cannot challenge for the championship ever again.
Right.
If MJF were to cost him the championship, to cost him a chance to ever again challenge for that championship, he would once again be one of the biggest bad guys on wrestling TV.
Yeah, and it keeps the door open if it's a disqualification where he can challenge later down the road.
Listen, it's TV wrestling.
Right, exactly.
He could lose. He could get pinned 1, 2, 3, and he could win a battle royal 6 months from now, and he could get back. Get back in the thing.
Blair and them have lost like 18 retirement matches. Yes. So and they're back in.
You know what this reminds me of?
Talk to me.
NWA Power.
Oh, man, don't talk to me.
What's the Storm guy's name? Lost in the first episode.
Tim.
Is it Tim Storm?
Tim Storm.
Yes.
Because you got James Storm as the cowboy.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, Tim Storm lost episode 1, and he said if I do not beat Nick Aldis, I will not challenge for the NWA championship again. He's still on TV.
Yep.
He's still working with Nick Aldis at times. I think they're building up to something once again with Tim Storm getting another championship in the NWA.
Let me tell you about the best thing about NWA Power.
Sure.
Talk to me.
Come
you
here.
ready?
Yeah.
They had Mr. Kennedy out there.
Oh, it's not Camille.
Oh,
sorry.
Can I get there?
My fault. Go ahead.
Eli Drake comes out there, and they get into a little scuffle between Eli and Mr. Kennedy. And out of nowhere, Camille throws, like, her guy's not even out there.
Is this episode 5?
Yeah.
I haven't seen this one, but go ahead.
Throws Eli Drake into him. Kennedy knocks him down. He's getting ready to attack. And then Camille steps over Eli Drake and shows what is one of the greatest things about leg day ever. And just stands there like.
I wouldn't disagree.
So even in the NWA, there's like, I could see Camille getting ready to cost the belt. And there's going to be a great storyline there. Guys, if you listen to this podcast and you do not watch NWA Power, Tuesdays, 6:05, old school. It is incredible.
You can go back and watch it at any time.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. It's free. Go check it out.
My man Colt Cabana won the belt, beat James Storm.
Oh, did he? You
Yeah.
ruined it for me. Thanks.
All right. Well, you can still watch it.
Supposed to say spoiler alert. Give me a heads up,
My
bro.
bad.
P.S. So back to AEW. Cody had a hot promo. What'd you think about Chris Jericho's video? Did you see it?
The youngest AEW champion ever.
Yes. Yes.
Little bubbly.
Yes.
Soul Train Jones, Virgil.
Yes.
On that thing.
Yes.
Probably one of the funniest and best videos leading up to a match ever.
Did you see who the woman was that was talking?
Who was it?
She was Chris's aunt's friend from church.
Yes. And they were chanting to Jericho at the end of the match, something dick, right?
Oh, okay.
And did you catch Jericho's response?
No.
He responded back to when they dressed Kane up as a woman in WWE and gave her, what was the name they gave her? I got to look this up. Hang on. Go to the next segment.
I don't know.
Let me go back to this thing.
So a couple weeks ago, Cody made this great video, had his mom on there, had his sister on there, had his brother on there, had Tony Schiavone on there.
Right.
And Jericho kind of spoofed it. He was sitting at a table. Sammy Guevara comes in with some bubbly, with some champagne. And Cody and Jericho's kind of, in the video, made it look like he was tuning him out.
Right.
He was focused on the match. And then you had like 2 minutes worth of shenanigans with Virgil on there from WWE, with Chris's aunt's friend from church.
Yes.
Talking about how Cody's going to get the piss beat out of him.
They kept going to Jake Hager, who didn't say a word.
Yes,
just standing there silent.
There was a shot of Jericho in the bathtub with his hat and his scarf on,
like he was
bubble
passed
bath.
out.
Yes,
it was so good.
So good video. The main event for AEW Dynamite last night was Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus Jericho and Sammy Guevara. All you need to know about this is Moxley come out with a barbed wire bat.
Right.
Omega got a barbed wire broom. They had a stare down. And then they just had a big free-for-all going down at AEW.
And we loved every bit of it.
You had the Inner Circle out there. You had the Young Bucks,
the
MJF.
Elite.
Yes, you had everybody going out. I love a hot finish. I told you after the show last night. That reminded me of the old NWO days.
Right.
When everybody was just fighting. Sting was clearing the ring. Everybody was just going crazy when the show went off the air. I love a hot finish to TV wrestling.
Let me tell you, we talk a lot about Cody. We talk a lot about Jericho. Let me give you one of my highlights.
All right.
Freaking Pac.
He's good.
Man, this dude is we talk about heels on the W. Right now, with MJF.
Yep.
Right now, Pac is it.
MJF's not heel right now.
No, he's going to be.
He may be.
He's going to be.
After Saturday.
I don't know if it's going to be Saturday night, but he's going to be, and he's great on the mic. But Pac, even Pac showed up at the end.
Yep.
What about the referee botch in the Pac match?
The opening match, yes.
How terrible was that?
Pac hit the Black Arrow, had him down, had Trent Beretta down. The referee counted 1, 2. There was no kick out. Pac didn't pull him up. There was no shoulder off the mat. The referee just held up.
My man
for
just
some reason.
stopped
Yes.
out of nowhere. What was he thinking?
I don't know.
But great show in Charlotte.
Yes.
By God, North Carolina. We even text each other and said, "Why are we not there?"
We should have been there. The crowd was hot all night long.
Crowd
it
was
loud.
incredible.
Yes, it was good. It was good. Over on the other channel last night on USA, we had NXT. The women's War Games match kind of took form. We now know who the good guys are.
Yep.
We got Rhea Ripley as the team captain. Candice LeRae, one of my favorites. Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, and one of my least favorites, Mia Yim. They had a big brawl. Mia Yim come out with a kendo stick and basically laid everybody out.
Kendo sticks are getting a little overplayed. They're showing up in a lot of matches now. We got to find something else.
How much would it take for you to let me hit you with one?
I want to know what it's made of first. Right?
Kendo stick.
Yeah, but I
guess.
the way they splinter so easy, Something's up with them. There's got to be a little something going on.
You think those are like working kendo sticks?
I'm hoping so.
Like fake kendo sticks?
Because, when we lived in Denton back in the day,
yeah,
we would always mess around with wrestling because we've been in wrestling now for years.
Yeah.
And
we took some chair shots.
We took chair shots. Buster, we put him through a table. Well, I remember we didn't have a kendo stick, and so Charles had a fat bat. Remember those big fat bats?
I remember getting hit with one of those one time.
He gave me a shot in my back.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be up around my shoulders. Well, he hit me in my lower back and knocked the breath out of me. And I couldn't talk to tell him to stop.
Yeah.
And he hit me like 3 or 4 more times. And let me tell you what, the fat bat ain't no joke. It may not be a kendo stick, but by God, it'll send you to Sizzler in a heartbeat.
It ain't no joke.
No.
So we got the women's war games. We got Ripley, LeRae, Tegan Knox, and Mia Yim versus Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, and then 2 members to be named later. Oh no, they had a third. What's my girl's name with the hair?
I can't. Oh, man, oh my God, she threw Carmella over the suitcases and everything. Anyways, let's keep going.
Yes. So they're getting ready for the women's NXT War Games match. The main event of NXT was the OC, my man, AJ Styles against Ciampa, Tommaso Ciampa, Matt Riddle, and Keith Lee. And man, we talk about how good AEW was going off the air. NXT was probably just as good going off the air. So they had a really good match. Then it all hits the fan, if you know what I'm saying. You had Finn Balor come out. You had Adam Cole come out. Adam Cole was left standing, him and Finn Balor. You had a little moment with AJ Styles and Finn Balor.
You thought the club was getting together?
Yes. And then Adam Cole comes out, knees AJ Styles in the back of the head, and then you have a moment with Finn Balor and Adam Cole as they went off the air. Yeah. I love the way that ended, too. If you had to pick a winner, who you picking?
Keith Lee. Just for this one reason.
Why?
Did you see when my man had Luke Gallows?
Yes.
In a squat form.
And holding him body slam style.
And basically curled that dude and stood up. Dude, Luke Gallows weighs what, 300 some pounds?
At least, yeah. At least.
That to me was almost as good as the spot where he saved Roderick Strong and them boys because they totally messed up.
Dijakovic,
Yeah. I mean, but look, when it comes to all this, man.
Who won? Pick me a winner. Wednesday Night War. Who won the war?
If you take both hot endings out, I'm going with AEW.
You can't take them both out because they're both part of the show.
I know, but man, it's a toss up, man. Both shows were hot.
I think
because even at the beginning of NXT, it opens up with the OC jumping and attacking Undisputed Era, and so both shows started hot. I mean, ended hot. Man, they best 2 shows by far, neck and neck that they've had.
Last week was good too. I don't know. Anyway, both shows are great. I think I enjoy the AEW show more.
The Cody Rhodes interview may have done it.
Yeah, probably so. But NXT, the way it ends with Balor and Ciampa and Adam Cole, it was good.
It was real good.
It was good. All right, let's look ahead to Saturday night. This coming Saturday in Baltimore, Maryland, we have the AEW Full Gear. This is their first pay-per-view show since being on TV on TNT every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Let's drive up there.
We'll drive to Baltimore?
Yeah.
We didn't even drive to Charlotte last night. You want to go to Baltimore?
I'm thinking about it.
You don't want to drive an hour south, but you want to drive 6 hours north. That makes sense.
This is pay-per-view.
That makes sense. Okay. We're going to run down the card. We got predictions. We got your guaranteed predictions.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
We got choked up on it so good.
Did. We got your guaranteed predictions for AEW Full Gear. Let's start at the bottom of the card. The pre-show match, we have Bea Presley versus the doctor, the dentist, Britt Baker, Jan Patterson. Who you got?
Hands down, Britt Baker.
Yeah, I think so. Then the main show, we have Joey Janela, the bad boy Joey Janela, going up against Shawn Spears and my main man, the original Four Horsemen member, Tully Blanchard.
I'm going with Shawn Spears, but did you see what we talked about? Joey Janela's who's the one who about killed your boy off that the top turnbuckle. He was in that match with the Jurassic Express that almost
when he got
killed.
Hurt?
Yeah.
Oh.
Joey, you getting punished because you about killed Marco Stunt.
Speaking of about getting killed, we didn't mention this with NXT. Riddle did a backflip over the top rope with the crowd underneath him, and he clipped the top rope.
Man.
And my boy's head about hit that apron when he come down last night.
That could have been real ugly.
Yes. All right, for the AEW Women's World Championship, we have Rio. Have you heard that she only weighs 95 pounds?
Yeah.
They tell that every show, 2 times every match.
I'm tired of it.
I'm about wore out. I know she weighs. Let me know when she gains weight, okay?
Yeah,
I don't
at least
need to know.
1 pound.
Yes, give me something else. We have Rio versus, I'm going to butcher this name because I'm from the south of the United States of America.
By God.
And this lady is from Japan. We have Rio versus Emi Sakura.
I'm going with Sakura just because I'm tired of hitting about 95 pounds.
No, I think Rio keeps the belt. All right, then we got SoCal Uncensored SCU versus your boys, the Lucha Brothers, versus Private Party because they won a match against the Dark Order last night in a 3-way match for the AEW Tag Team Championship. Patterson, who you got?
My heart tells me Lucha Party or Lucha Underground. I mean Lucha Brothers. Lord, I'm Lucha something. Lucha Brothers.
You want to go Taco Bell for lunch?
Yeah, absolutely. But I say SoCal keeps the belts.
Yeah, I think so.
They're pumping up Scorpio Sky.
I think so.
Way too much for them to lose after just having the belt for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
next up, we got maybe one of my favorite matches. Got a chance to be the match of the night. We got Hangman Adam Page versus Pac. I'm going with Pac.
Man,
I'm going with Pac.
I'm going with Hangman.
I'm going with Pac unless the referee doesn't count 3 when he's supposed to.
I'm going with Hangman just because I really thought – well, I didn't really think, but I had a little bit of thought that he would win the championship against Jericho. And so I'm going to say they do him right and he wins this pay-per-view.
All right. We'll see. I'm going with Pac. We have a tag team grudge match. If you will, the Young Bucks versus Santana and Ortiz. I think Santana and Ortiz have gotten the best of the Young Bucks so far, other than I think it was Matt Jackson last night jumped off the top of one of those light towers as the show
Shane McMahon had
was going off the air. Probably, 15 to 20 feet in the air.
Yep.
He jumped off and took everybody out. Who you got, Patterson?
I'm going with the Young Bucks, man.
I agree.
They haven't won a big match recently. They put everybody over.
Mm-hmm.
So I think tonight or Saturday night.
Okay. Then we got for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, the Le Champion, the little bit of the bubbly.
Yes.
Chris Jericho versus Cody. Keep in mind, Baltimore is NWA country. It's old school WCW country. It's Dusty country. It's Four Horsemen territory. It's classic wrestling.
Now, remember, Jericho came up through WCW.
That don't matter.
Man,
listen,
the crowd's going to be hot.
I will say, I consider Jericho like an old school guy.
I do, too.
No question.
I do, too.
No question.
Oh, man.
It's Jericho, bro. It's Jericho. It's easy.
Man.
Jericho.
Disqualification.
So who's going to win the match?
It's going to be a disqualification. Jericho's going to keep the belt. There's not going to be a winner.
Well, there's got to be if it's somebody's getting disqualified. Who's getting disqualified?
Jericho is.
How's he going to get disqualified?
Because MJF, like you said, either MJF or the Inner Circle is going to help keep Jericho keep the belt like the Horsemen used to do for Flair back in the day.
Yeah, Jericho's winning. I'm telling you, Jericho's keeping the belt.
Well, he could still lose and keep the belt.
He may not win the match, technically,
right?
But he's keeping the belt.
Yeah.
And then finally, by all reports, this will be the last match of the night, a lights-out match with Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. Apparently, after the championship match is done, they will turn the lights off. Technically, the show is over. They will turn the lights back on. These two men will come out from the back. They will have a match that is unsanctioned. Anything goes. My question is, will there be a referee there? Because if this match is unsanctioned and this is not technically an AEW match, can you have a referee? How do you know when somebody wins? Is it just going to be a beatdown when so and so can't get up, and then you say, "Well, I'm done. We're headed to the back."
Well, we know this is going to be good.
Oh, I think it's going to be good.
It's going to be intense.
I think it's going to be good.
Because Kenny Omega, super intense when he wrestles. Moxley, super intense when he wrestles. There will be blood.
I think so.
I think there will be lots of blood.
It should be.
Man, I'm looking at it from a WWE point of view, I guess.
Don't.
Everything's 50-50. You know what I mean?
Don't.
I'm going with John Moxley.
I agree. I think Moxley's been built up as this crazy hardcore type guy, and this is his match. Yeah, I think he wins. I think Moxley wins. I do think it'll be a crazy match, though.
Oh, it's going to be good.
There's going to be some crap go down in this match. I got to say, I am more interested in John Moxley than I ever was Dean Ambrose.
Oh, absolutely.
Ambrose was probably my least favorite member of the Shield back in the day. I didn't care much when he won the WWE Championship, when he was Intercontinental Champ. I just didn't care much for the way he appeared on TV. I didn't care if he won or lost.
Right.
Turn the channel for me. However, when Moxley comes out, like I'm watching, I want to see what this fool does.
Yeah, it's going to be something good.
I am much more interested in Moxley than I ever was Dean Ambrose.
Him and Eli Drake right now in NWA have like that stone cold persona about them.
Yep.
Where they're just bad to the bone, and it intrigues you because, like you said, man, something good is going to happen.
Something crazy.
Somebody could really get hurt.
Something I want to see. I got to see what this fool does.
Right, exactly.
I agree. All right, that is your Full Gear, AEW Full Gear predictions and rundown for this Saturday night. We'll be back next Thursday.
Whoa.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
We'll be back next Thursday with a full review of the Full Gear pay-per-view and let you know how we feel about Chris Jericho still being the AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
But a little bubbly.
All right, y'all. We've got a segment of the show that we do every week here. We end our show every week with a segment we like to call Main Event, Midcard, or Dark Match.
Boom.
We got 3 wrestlers. Today, Jam's got 3 wrestlers. He's going to tell me I've got to pick one to be in the dark match, one to be in the mid-card match, and one to be in the main event match. Patterson,
all right,
what you got?
The last one I gave you was pretty tough.
I agree.
Macho Man, Sting, Lex Luger.
Yep.
All right, I picked this time what they would consider 3 big men.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
The first one, Big Van Vader.
I like Big Van Vader. By the way, does anybody else, when you see Keith Lee, see the resemblance to Big Van Vader? I can see it. It's almost the same body size.
Yeah.
The same. I think Keith Lee's probably a little more athletic, but Vader was, man, he was a moot-salting machine back in the day. I could see them two, see the resemblance between those two.
Number 2.
Yep.
Yokozuna.
I love Yokozuna too. I remember in 1993, early 94, late 93, watching some WWE show on a Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. It was maybe a Wrestling Challenge or something. And Yokozuna coming out. And I knew he'd had the championship belt for a while. I remember sitting there as a 12, 13-year-old boy thinking, ain't nobody going to beat this fool. No. He's going to be the champion until he dies. Ain't nobody beating him.
And number 3.
Okay.
Probably my favorite of the 3.
Uh-huh.
And I do love me some Vader. Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Samoa Joe, Big Van Vader, and Yokozuna.
That's good.
Who you got?
Those are 3 studs.
Well, I don't mess around.
Those are 3 studs. I agree. All right, here we go. Dark match. Give me
pressure.
Samoa Joe.
What?
In the dark match, give me Samoa Joe.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was either Samoa Joe or Yokozuna, to be honest with you. Give me Samoa Joe in the dark match.
That's the best dark match in the history of wrestling.
Give me Yokozuna in the mid-card match.
I'd go with that.
And Vader in the main event. I love Vader. The same thing I thought about Yokozuna. Couldn't nobody beat him. I thought the same thing about Vader. Like, this fool was legit beating people up back in the day. He about killed Sting more than once.
And it's a shame he ain't in the Hall of Fame by now.
It's a shame he didn't go in the Hall of Fame before he passed, and now it's still a shame that he's still not in the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
I agree. Yeah, give me Vader. I loved Vader back in the day.
Vader time.
Yokozuna, I thought he was good.
Great bad guy.
Bruce Pritchard just did a whole podcast a couple weeks ago on Yokozuna. You put him in the mid card, and then Samoa Joe. No offense, don't come looking for me, Joe. I love you. You're my man. But somebody's got to be in the dark card match. What you want to see?
Got to be Yokozuna.
You could listen. I wouldn't argue flip flop those two and be fine.
I would love to see Samoa Joe and Vader in a match.
That'd be something. That'd be good too.
That'd be intense.
That'd be good too. Them folks would beat the devil out of each other. All right, everybody. This is the Main Event Wrestling Podcast. Look us up on Twitter at Main Event Pod. Main Event Pod. Send us a tweet. Let us know what you like about pro wrestling. Let us know what you don't like about pro wrestling. We would love to talk to you about. We promise, if you tweet us, we'll reply. We'll reply back to all of your tweets. We'd love to talk to you about pro wrestling. Look us up on Twitter, Main Event Pod. You can find our show and all the Press Play Podcast shows on PressPlayPodcast.com. That is PressPlayPodcast.com. We'll be back next week with a full review of the AEW Full Gear show coming up this Saturday night live from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm Michael Jernigan. That's my tag team partner, Jan Patterson.
Woo!
See you next week.